Hey, Jason.
Hey, how's it going?
That's an interesting background you have there. It seems
What that?
it seems pretty relevant.
Yeah, what is it?
That's how much. That's the total we've made from the podcast so far.
Yeah, that's why it says Oren O's in red.
Okay. All right. So I'm in
Yeah.
the red right now. That's cool. It's good to know.
The podcast is doing great. You're somehow losing money.
Okay, I get the picture. You'll get the check's in the mail.
Okay,
I
sure.
sent a check. It's not pre-authorized, so please cash it on the first of the month.
Okay, sounds good. Anyway, so Oren fucked up the recording again, and we only have half the video because this time we figured out how to do it, but then he forgot to check if he had any battery left on his recording device.
Yeah.
And so
Also, I recorded it like through YouTube, and I feel like the quality is not as good. Look, hey, we're figuring this out. Rome wasn't built in a 2-hour podcast. Okay, that's the saying. So give us a chance. We're figuring it out. We're gonna get it eventually, right?
yeah.
And
And also,
Jason
if you want to know
obviously
what
offers no help. He just blames it on me. That's the entire situation. I'm not great with technology. I just bought Alexa lights. I'm supposed to be able to just say turn the lights on. They're supposed to turn on, but it turns out
I didn't find a device that I like.
you're just burning material for next week instead of it's just the intro. We have a full episode ready for you guys and enjoy it. Enjoy
yeah,
it.
about
and
20 minutes of video it cuts out, but enjoy what's there. Listen to the rest and wait for next week when we actually get it right.
when I get my money.
Okay, bye.
Doesn't matter, whatever. This type of food poisoning made me shit for 3 days.
Your
Not
whole
kidding.
hockey team watched the OC.
Yeah. Just boys being boys, baby.
I don't know what to do. How do we like look at each other? Do we look at the camera? I still haven't figured that part of it out.
Oh, wow. I like this.
You like it, huh?
I like this.
Isn't this nice? Huh?
I've often heard Joe Rogan talk about what it's like to have a conversation with someone when you can hear their voice as loud as you can hear your own voice.
Yeah.
And it kind of changes the dynamic.
It changes I think it's addictive, I guess.
I have an erection.
I have Oren's erection.
Dude, I am hard as a rock. This is so
Yeah, I
cool.
can see right there.
Yeah, it's a tent pop. It's a Larry David tent pop.
Jesus.
Don't do that to me. Welcome.
I'm gonna get comfortable. Take off my watch.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Yeah, is this your friendship home?
Yeah, it's my friendship home. It's where I come to be a boy.
Get in front of a brick wall and talk some shit.
I have a brick wall. You've seen my brick wall. I hope I don't want to lose this here.
So Jason and I, well, first of all, welcome everybody.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Welcome to Friendship Hour with Jason Sellon and Orange Bureau. We keep on fucking up because we keep on hanging out.
And having a good time without you guys.
Yeah, without you guys. And so I feel like we're giving all our good stuff to each other non-recorded.
Yeah.
And now we have to mine for gold, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
But I had a really good time at your place. Thanks for inviting me. And
I regret chewing ice right now into the microphone. Yeah, it was fun, eh? You met the dog?
dude, the dog's cute as hell. At
It's a good
first, I'm
dog.
like, there's no way this is gonna work all night long. They're gonna have to cage it up or like wrap it up.
She, one time we put her in a cage. Like we have that camera. Like if you're a fan of the show, you've seen her ghost eyes on camera.
Yeah.
And the one time we put her in a cage and we had the camera in because she is like crate trained. That's how she was trained to be at home alone, is to be in a cage.
Okay.
And she went at the fucking cage so hard with her mouth trying to break
That's
out.
the scariest thing.
It looked like a ferocious beast of it just looked like a paranormal activity where it was just like kind of normal activity.
Also, you're gonna hurt yourself, dog.
She was bleeding from the gums
Yeah.
when we got back. It's like we were gone for 15 minutes and she did, some damage to the cage.
When I put my cat in a carrier and try to take her in the car, she freaks out. First of all, she makes noises in that car when she's in the carrier that I don't even know how. Like, she says full sentences. She finds ways to be like, "This is torture." Like, it's crazy. The noises are really nuts, but it does sound like some sort of howl. But she will scrape at the walls of it till her nails almost don't exist anymore. Like, I see them flying off into the car, just like shrapnel going off. I have to be careful not to get it in the eye.
You just remind me. I didn't know dogs had baby teeth until I had like my puppy like 10 years ago.
Oh, they fall
Yeah,
out?
they fall out, dude.
That's
You just find
creepy.
little teeth around the house. You're like, what mouse fight club is happening when I'm going to bed?
See, that I get, but I think like if I didn't know that and I was going to pick up my puppy's shit one day and there was just teeth in it, I'd be like, what the fuck?
They don't eat. Oh, I guess yes, she would maybe eat it. Eh?
They definitely swallow a
yeah,
lot
they
of those babies.
swallow some teeth.
100%.
You think they miss it?
Yeah.
Back when,
If they eat their own shit, they eat their own teeth. I'll tell you that.
I mean, teeth doesn't smell like digested. I get the allure of shit if you're a dog, you know? Your nose is so powerful that you're smelling the food that used to exist.
I'd eat a dead tooth. It sounds delicious.
It's gross.
Put peanut butter in the middle of it.
This is going to be a gross episode, I think.
Anyways, I did. The dog was good in the end. Really, really friendly. And then mind her own business. You know.
Yeah.
Tended to her
After the first
nipples.
15 minutes, she just tucked into her own nipples. She uses her nipples as a blanket. That's how long they are.
She tended to her nipples in another room, and we had a really good time. I got wasted.
Yeah, you did. So did I.
I didn't even realize how drunk I was getting. I guess really I was there for several hours, and we drank from beginning to end. So.
Yeah, and I had like 3 drinks before. Me and my girlfriend had like 3 drinks
Oh,
before.
you lubed up before we got there?
Yeah, because we were like, I guess 7 is like too late of a time for you to get there because we finished work at like 4:30, and then by 6 o'clock we were like, all right, well let's play cards competitively. And
Is that what you guys do?
yeah, we started playing cards at the beginning. Like I'm not a card guy, but
Yeah.
we started like she grew up in a household where they played board games and shit, and that's not like we played Monopoly once in my house and everyone cried and we never did it again.
Yeah. Oh my god. That is.
And I'm not like a card guy or board game guy, but now I've play 31.
You got that board.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? So what do you guys both play solitaire and one in each corner?
Yeah, exactly. We go to our independent offices and through the window every once in a while.
And then discuss the game later.
Yeah. There's a window between our 2 offices, and we put up a sign saying where we're at points wise.
What game are you guys playing?
31.
31.
It's similar to blackjack.
That's not a game. Is that a game?
It is. It's on. If you go on the Bicycle Cards website, there's the official rules of 31. So it's an official. It's a good game. Actually, they were playing it in Stand By Me, that stupid fucking Stephen King movie I was telling you about.
Crazy Eights?
No, I don't know. I have no idea what Crazy Eights is, besides like a nickname for a guy in the 50s and like some sort of street gang who got away with a bunch of shit. Oh, that's just Crazy 8. I don't know why they sound like that in the 50s.
It's only that.
Hey,
always
Tommy, that's that Crazy 8 over there.
Crazy 8 over there. No, I the only games I know.
He blew 8 guys. As a joke.
Well, he's not gay. It was a joke.
It's a joke. You guys don't get it.
What games are there? To me, the card game. We played a Spit.
I don't know what's spit. Oh, that might be we have this
I tried to play
Untitled.
Swallow, but she didn't want to.
Hey.
No, but we play Spit. That's fun. That's competitive.
We
That
have
one gets-
this Untitled game that I kind of remember from childhood. I don't know what it's called, so it might be similar to Spit. What's Spit?
Well, there's a pile on the left.
Is
and a
this good
pile-
podcast to
Yeah, they
just
love it.
describe a
There's a
card
pile on
game?
the left and there's a pile on the
Okay,
right.
never mind. It's not the game.
Oh, it's so good. Anyways, I know that. I know Asshole.
Yeah, I think Asshole's similar to the Untitled game that I play.
That's like where you have a president and an asshole and something like
Never
that.
mind. Yeah, that's the one from my childhood.
That's a dumb one. And then Bullshit. You ever play Bullshit?
I don't like a game where like the whole thing is bluffing.
Dude, you're just going to play bridge for the rest of your life. You're so that
I
old,
can't wait to
man.
play bridge. My grandmother's
An
like, you're too
orthopedic-
young for me to teach you.
Dude, you're like an orthopedic man playing bridge.
I can't wait,
Changing
dude.
from his outdoor shoes to his indoor shoes.
Yeah.
That is, you're already that
I
person.
cannot wait.
But your place is very nice.
Thank you. There's a weird smell.
I didn't notice it.
There's a weird. I don't know what it's like.
I
Kind
smelled, I smelled cigarettes. When
Yeah,
I
that's
walked
what-
in,
I think
'cause
it's
you're
the
a
neighbors
dirty smoker.
downstairs.
It's your problem because you're a dirty smoker. Everybody.
I think the neighbors downstairs. I think they used to smell the smoke in the apartment, and then like it's just that stench is there forever.
It could be. People used to always say that when I was a smoker, and I was like, "Oh fuck, it's bullshit. It's not true." You
It's
know.
so
And then
true.
you realize, wow, I really stank to shit
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, real bad.
It's really fucked. And I got so drunk to the point where I don't remember my trip home at all. Like I think the moving from one place to another place
Yeah,
is
that's the
when
second location. You just lose all memory.
lose all
Yeah.
memory of. Like I remember being home a little bit. I remember us talking, but I don't remember. Like I must have. I don't know. You liquored me up. I don't know if you took advantage of us. I don't know
Yeah,
what
we did.
happened.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
My butt felt a little weird when I woke up the next day.
That just feels like that every day. That's what being 44 is.
But it was fun, and I was hungover the next day. I was useless. the next day.
like I don't really drink that much anymore since like COVID and all that. But I've drank every night the last 4 days, and I feel like shit today. It took so much for me to get here. I laid in bed and watched The World's Most Wanted on Netflix, and I was like, $5 million, I'll find the guy who did the Rwanda genocide. I'll go to Switzerland right now. What are you talking about?
Give me a laptop. I'm gonna find him right now. Sweetheart, give me the laptop. I'm gonna figure this out. We're rich, by the way.
Solve the genocide.
Yeah, you can spend the money, no problem. We're gonna find him. Yeah, I appreciate you coming. That's very nice of you. I know the feeling. I was useless, and then I did a show last night, a surprise show where Sugar Sammy came and finished off the audience.
Okay,
just came all over their faces. Yeah. He brought camera people and everything.
Really?
They filmed it.
Okay. I guess why not, eh?
So, I mean, like, technically, I opened up.
You opened for Sugar's new special?
Yeah, exactly. I saw he posted on Instagram, and it was like there was a surprise set sold out with special guests. So guess
you're
what?
a special guest.
I'm fucking special as
shit. Yeah, you're special in the head for sure, dude.
I'm so fucking special. I bombed so hard.
I've been feeling so shitty about comedy lately. Like I'm almost like I don't want to quit, but it's like Jesus Christ. Like this is so much more fun.
Dude, I was so bad.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was, this feeling where like whatever. I obviously did.
That sucks, man. You look terrible. You were bad on stage.
Falling apart.
What do you have to look forward to?
Just falling apart. So I even the producer said to me, he goes, the first 5 minutes were tough. They were tough. Last 5 were good. First tough. And he was being polite about it, even saying the last 5 were good.
Yeah.
I am so out of it. First of all, I fell apart with like one joke that I tell all the time, every day. I fucking told it so many times I couldn't tell it. I lost the whole punchline, and I remember everyone's faces, very trying, looking at me confused,
trying to figure out what the fuck you're trying, what the maze of words you just put in front of them, and you're like in the middle of it, like let me out.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember all their faces, like every single one of their faces, and then I watched Sammy on stage, and I watch their faces. I'm like, oh, that's what those people look like when they laugh. Oh, those people can be happy, and look, they're so happy right now. I remember those people just looking at me like, what the fuck is this? But
we paid for this shit. Dude, we're risking our lives for this shit.
Man, it was really. I came off stage, and sometimes when I bomb, I come off stage a little angry or annoyed at myself, and there's like different feelings.
Yeah.
But this time I was just kind of felt like a little shocked. I was like, well, what was that?
Yeah.
There's no way you've been doing this for as long as you have. I don't know.
I think like my last day was 2 weeks ago now because of this stupid thing, and I think that's like the feeling that's stayed in my body for the last 2 weeks was just that like these people are like, what did you just do up there? The words you said were not good words. You chose the wrong words to say to try to make us laugh, and you should feel bad about yourself.
So strange.
That's good though. You bombed yesterday.
Bombed hard, and then I don't know. I just had that feeling where you're coming home and you're like, I guess I got it right. You know what I mean? I gotta get writing again. Can't tell that shit again.
I don't know. I went actually yesterday. I watched this movie on Netflix called The Interview. It's a 1998 movie, Australian movie. It's like it's so shit. And like the way they sold it was it's Australia's answer to The Usual Suspects.
Oh, wow.
It was such a piece of shit movie.
First of all, The Usual Suspects wasn't a question to you, Australia. No one asked you to answer it. You didn't have to.
It was the guy from The Matrix, Hugo Weaving or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, he's
Agent
in everything.
Smith or whatever.
He's Agent Smith.
He's Australian.
Is he?
Yeah. That's the thing about this movie is that everyone was Australian in the movie. They were allowed to be Australian, which should never happen. They always have to hide the Australian in every other movie, but in this one they just were allowed to be themselves, and I didn't like it. Don't be Australians.
Dude, it's so funny. I think like the only movie where Hugh Jackman actually got to be Australian was in a movie that they called Australia because they needed the audiences to understand this is what's happening. Don't get confused. The movie's called Australia.
What is that movie?
I don't know. It's a movie called Australia where Hugh Jackman is probably just being Australian, throwing boomerangs and
catching him
and fucking kangaroos and then boxing them. Dude, those buff kangaroos are the funniest.
I know.
Thing. There's nothing funnier in the world.
Know. Imagine like deer were fucking had a 6-pack. That's like
it's like walking around like, bro,
catch these hooves, motherfucker.
Dude, they're so beefed out. Those and beluga whales. I like those two things.
Beluga whales are beefed out.
You've never seen a picture of like a beluga
Oh, I guess
whale
they do have
stand?
abs. It's true.
It's so
They have a head that's too big. They look like they're always wearing a helmet,
yeah.
and I guess they have abs. It's true.
It looks like Zeus
Why-
saw a bunch of strong gods and like was like, I don't like you guys, and like turned them into like whales and
Like-
trapped them into these white
No,
bodies.
I think Zeus was like, I want a dolphin. I want to fuck.
I need sexier animals
Give
out
me
here.
a deer dog hybrid that hops around. But wait, I want to fuck it too.
Zeus is sitting around thinking like, I was
Why is it Zeus? Why do we pick the Greek god here?
Because the Greek gods are always the sexy ones.
Okay,
They're always the
yeah.
ones fucking all the time, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Why are Greeks so known for anal? What's that about?
Why are you asking me? We should ask Fuckhouse.
Because you love anal and you love Greeks.
I am anti-anal.
We should ask Fuckhouse those anal.
Oh yeah, forgot to say
Gay boys.
I spoke to Gabe yesterday. By the way, there was a party yesterday you were invited to that you didn't respond to. Sarag's birthday at
Get the fuck
park
out
in
of here.
NDG. Yeah, you're invited on the list.
I was not invited.
Yeah, you were. Check. You're on the list. Doesn't matter. You're on the list of invitees.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did you go?
Yeah. That's why I had 4 days in a row of drinks in me. There was a party yesterday. Anyways, what were we saying? Oh yeah, Gabe said that Gabriel O'Massey of Fuckhouse says that he has another video countering our last video.
Oh, I mean, I'm not really
And
worried.
He was supposed to send it. I was supposed to remind him to send it before we started recording this so we could address it. But
We'll have to throw
I
it.
forgot to do that.
Hey, if we have to jump online,
and do a Zoom beef.
look at Friendship Hour. We're never too busy. You know.
Well, I mean, whatever.
Often am. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I missed out on that.
That was your first official sip break
Yeah.
from Friendship Hour. Double sip.
It felt good. Yeah, I missed out, I guess, on a party. I instantly see. I know for a fact that if I was supposed to go, I would have not wanted to go. But
I didn't
now
wanna go.
I just miss it. I'm like, I feel so annoyed that I missed out. Like that, everyone hates me now. And now all you guys did was talk about how much I was.
Yeah, we just talked about you the whole time.
How much
dude.
you guys
Get
hate me.
over yourself. Get. What were we talking about? Australians?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that movie you watched.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. Basically, here's the movie. A guy gets taken in, and they're like, "Did you kill that guy?" And he's like, "No." And then like, he's like, "Wait, I'll tell you a secret if you give me food." And then like they give him food. He's like, "Hey, I killed that guy." And then when the cop boss shows up, he's like, "I was lying. I didn't kill that guy." Then they let him go. And he has an evil smile on his face at the end to suggest that he did indeed
So
kill
that's
the guy.
why. You know what I love? How they're like, Australia's answer to the usual suspects in that the ending is very similar. So we're giving
it's
it
the
away.
same movie.
So we're giving
but without
it away.
all the fun parts of them cutting back to like
Yeah.
I don't really remember Usual Suspects. I think they like showed you what happened, but like through the lies of Kevin Spacey or whatever. Yeah. Well, I think his name's Kevin.
I remember the stupid ending where it just like it was so
He walks the limp off.
He walks a limp off, but it's not that. It's that. So again, I don't remember it that well, but Kevin Spacey is telling the whole story to some underage child at a party, right? That's exactly.
It's
So
like,
Kevin
come
Spacey,
rub my thigh.
Kevin Spacey's telling this whole story to this detective, where he's like pretending he was a witness to all this thing, right? But really, he was making it all up the whole time.
The whole time he's like, yeah, and then like he sees like a bird on the bulletin board behind him. He's like, yeah, and then a bird shot someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a good riff?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, yeah, I was hanging out at a wall, and a radiator told me to go hang out with the armoire. Dude,
Yeah.
you're not being original, man. And then the cop, after the cop's like fully believes the story, he's like, thanks a lot, sir. He like turns around and sees all the things on like a board, and he's like, wait a minute. It's like so dumb.
Like they're not able to find him. He just he's a block away. Just deploy your resources and go get him. What are you talking?
It's so dumb. I don't know. I think that's a movie that gets way too much credit as like.
Well, when did it come out? Also,
people love a twist. It's crazy how
people
much
love a twist.
whole
That's-
movie could be
well, that's
nothing
what
happened.
M. Night Shyamalan just rode an entire career, just coattails of two twists.
Just yeah, exactly. Because he had
People
one.
hated The Village, eh?
Dude, that movie was.
I
dumb.
loved it when I was a kid. I was like 12 when I saw that. Whenever it came out, probably like 2001 or something. I was 11, 12.
You can't just the whole movie on a twist. It just makes no sense at the end of it. It just, I don't know. All of his movies have awful twists. What was the twist in the one with the aliens that they?
They're allergic to water.
I'm allergic to water.
Yeah.
We went through all this.
We found a planet that's 98% water.
It's just ridiculous if you gave us one more fact at the beginning of the movie, then the whole movie would have been not scary at all.
If
and
they
useless.
had invaded Seattle, they would have been fucked immediately. It just starts raining, and they're like,
Yeah, I'm not.
it hurts.
I'm
It
not down
hurts.
the whole movie. Like the movie The Game. I always tell people that's an amazing movie, but I can
that
never
with
watch it
Michael
again.
Douglas?
With Michael Douglas, yeah.
I saw it once. I should watch it again. I love I love Fincher. David Fincher.
Yeah, he's good.
He's the best, man. Zodiac's one of my favorites.
Zodiac's really good.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about it before.
Yeah, probably. Oh yeah, here's the other thing about the interview is that then years later there was the movie where they made fun of North Korea with James Franco and Seth
That's
Rogen called The Interview. You can
Right.
just name another. We can make a movie called Pulp Fiction where it's just two guys.
I think we should choose an Australian movie. Probably is the best. Is the best. So you can just
We can just name.
You
Yeah,
can't.
you definitely can.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
You saying I could just make a movie called Schindler's List
Yes,
tomorrow?
and it's Santa Claus is named Schindler, and it's a very happy movie.
To change the whole dynamic
Yeah.
of the whole thing. Same score.
Just the saddest.
Yeah, exactly. Same violin the whole time, and it's a Santa Claus movie. Yeah, okay. I didn't know you can do that. I thought that was illegal. I'm pretty sure it is. I think you're lying.
Well, then explain the
I hate it when
interview.
you don't know something and you're just like taking something out of someone's mouth and being like, "Yes, I'm."
To be honest, I heard I think I heard it on another podcast that you can't copyright a title.
Oh, that's interesting.
A much funnier podcast than what we're doing right now.
Fuck, we suck. How's your body doing, man? I was thinking about you. My friend just got knee surgery.
That sucks.
What is? Did you get knee? You got hip.
I got hip surgery.
So you got opened up.
No, it's I had 3 little incisions about an inch or 2 big.
Sounds like your penis.
Yeah, I have cumulatively.
That's how the doctor's. The doctor's like, "Don't worry, Jason. We're gonna do 3 cuts.
We're
They're
gonna
just
make
gonna be
a
the size of your dick."
Jason-sized dick incision. Jason dick-sized incision.
Don't be concerned. So what do they do then? They just like relocate something in there, or what?
They just so what they did to me because I tore my labrum, which is the cartilage between your hip and your femur.
I once dated a girl who had her labium pierced.
She had her labrum pierced.
Labrum, yeah.
Don't make fun of it.
I'm sorry, yeah.
So they just took it out because like about 5 years after I got my surgery, they were like, "Oh, we finally know how to do this surgery now," and they do it a different way now.
I finally finished the book. It
Yeah.
was sitting on my desk for years.
But when I got it, so they just removed it and then they shaved with like a sander. They shaved my femur bone so it doesn't impact on my hip
That
joint.
is the scariest
Yeah, I
sounding.
know.
Shaved my femur bone.
Yeah. They just shaved a couple, like a half an inch off or whatever, maybe like an eighth of an inch.
So they did that with a tiny little incision. Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I remember when because it's like a very specific tear that you can't really find on MRI unless you do like the beryllium MRI or whatever it is. You know when they inject an ink dye into
I've
you?
never felt dumber in my life. I was like,
They put a metal through, like they inject a liquid metal into you,
Yeah.
so they can see. I guess.
Find John Connor.
I don't. What's John? Oh yeah, Terminator.
Yeah.
Okay. I hate fuck. I don't like those movies.
Hold on. They inject
a metal to let them see. I guess the tears in a very specific location in your body through the MRI because they kind of like it gives a contrast, I guess, between the metal and like the tear. I don't know. And I remember when when he was about to inject me with it right before the MRI, like this like nurse was like shaving my balls or whatever. And,
so awkward.
And
so you missed a spot. Can you just make it
because it's like
smooth?
literally right next to like one of the incisions I have is next to my balls. It's on
Really?
my thigh next to my balls, and I have 2 more on the other side.
Do they have to like tape your balls to the left
They
leg?
did, yeah.
They did.
Some lady, some poor girl who's like, I'm getting a credit for this. You know that, right? And the doctor, right before he injected the dye in my groin, was like, "Don't worry, it's just like going to the dentist." I was like, "What? I don't know what dentist you go to, buddy." And that was the first time she laughed. The nurse laughed. And I was like, "Hell yeah, dude! I'm gonna do stand-up comedy."
Yeah, this moment, like, I'm gonna be a comedian.
Yeah, so they did that, and then. But here's the thing: is like athletes get this surgery all the time, and they're fine because they have like a team of specialized whatevers that like follow them through their rehab.
Yeah.
I was a lazy like 20-year-old 19-year-old who just saw like all of his dreams of ever playing any sport whatsoever, die. And
Cue the violin.
I barely like I remember we like borrowed a
Hold on,
exercise bike from my dad's buddy, so I could like I was supposed to start rehabbing 2 days after surgery.
My dad's buddy. Sounds like
Just a guy who doesn't use his exercise bike. It's not that fancy.
Sure, yeah.
What are you gonna ask?
Just going over to my best friend's to use his exercise bike, sweetheart. Why don't we just get the exercise bike?
We brought it over.
He was going over to the friend's house to have anal sex. That was what was happening.
Yeah,
and he
dude.
used the exercise bike as the excuse, and then your mother was like, "Why don't you just get the
What are you
exercise
talking
bike
about?
and
We
bring
got
it
the
here?"
exercise bike and brought it to my parents. What are you talking about my dad like that for?
And then he came back and he was like, "Oh, now I don't have an excuse to go anymore. We brought the bike here. Can't say I'm going to use the bike." So what I'm kind of confused about though is it really was one surgery that was like, and now it's all over. Like you were a hockey player, everything was good.
No, I wasn't that good either. I was good, but I wasn't that good.
Right. I could stop a puck, but not all the time.
Yeah, because I'm not athletic. I suck at like every other sport. I just got really good at one specific task within a sport. Like
Right.
I don't think I would have been a good like defenseman or forward. I was a good goalie.
Could you skate? Usually they say that the goalie has to be the best skater on the ice.
I could skate backwards real good. Because that's all you do as a goalie, skate back like little
Run away
mini-
like a champion.
But
Okay, so and then
I didn't rehab it properly, so now it hurts forever.
that's crazy.
And
Just perpetual pain,
yeah.
always.
Especially like today, it's humid out, it's raining, it's like fuck.
Dude, you're 97. It's fucked. Surgery like that scares the fuck out of me. To
Yeah,
get
you've
it
had
done
surgery,
at
though?
19. I got not surgery though. Like I got surgery, yes, but it wasn't.
He got cosmetic.
Yeah, cosmetic. I got. Believe it or not, this is the redo of everything.
You went to the doctor, you're like, doctor, can you make me look more gay?
Make me look beautiful. Fix all this shit. I have like very thick hair. I'm a thick haired
Yeah, I
man.
can see from.
My knuckles.
You look like you have Velcro straps on your knuckles, dude.
Dude, it's insane. Once my girlfriend, she waxed my fingers.
Yeah.
Not my hands, just my
Just
fingers.
fingers?
Because I thought it would look better, but it didn't. It looked like I had dipped my fingers in acid up to my hand.
Yeah, why?
You know?
It doesn't
Like,
match anything.
I know, it just doesn't match. That's what's so crazy. That's also why you need, like when you're like me, you need facial hair and stuff like that, because otherwise it just looks like your hair's just like begging to get out of every pore
Right.
of your body. So I had an ingrown hair, but they call it it was more of a cyst going on in my.
It's gross.
Yeah, and it's in the worst spot in the world, like right at my ass crack, right at the arch, right at the McDonald, like right, you know, right at the golden arches,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
right at that point, right at my cleavage.
Yeah, the
I remember once when I was telling a joke about it. There was actually a funny medical term, but I can't remember how useless I am. Look up the funny medical term and laugh on your own time, okay?
what's that game where you throw like sacks of like rice or whatever beans into like a cornhole? Is that what it is? Yeah, cornhole.
Yeah, cornhole. Yeah, I called it,
right in the 100-point zone.
dude. And then so it was like a cyst that became really painful, and I didn't notice it kind of as it was happening. And then
Yeah, because who checks out the top of their ass?
it's just not something you think of. And then when you feel a little bit of pain, you're just kind of like, it's just my ass being my ass. Most men just do that. I mean, that's why most men die of like pancreatic cancer and stuff like that so late in their life.
Yeah.
Because they're like, it's my ass. And my ass bothers me all the time. So what's the difference if it bothers me now? So I was feeling, and then eventually got so bad that I was like, what the fuck's happening? I have a best friend who's a doctor, and
I thought I was your best friend.
well, we'll talk about it later. This guy's Jewish, and it'll always give him a little bit of push.
God damn it!
And he told me he
I
always
got
tells
circumcised for this podcast. For today's podcast.
you should have told me. I would have been there to suck the blood out and do the ritual myself.
Give me herpes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember that rabbi who gave a bunch of kids herpes in New York City?
Yes, absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Anyways, doesn't matter.
It was the saddest. That's when I like learned about that ritual. I didn't actually know about it.
Yeah, it's not every Jewish
No,
kid's
but
gotten their dick.
my buddy did know about it. My buddy, like, again, the doctor, he
Oh, wow.
actually has family who is more religious, and he was at a bris and saw it happen, and like almost panicked. Was like, wait, did that just fucking happen? Like talking to everybody, and like, yeah, that's what they do, and it's messed up, man. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's just a creepy thing to watch. Like, what's creepier than than,
I don't want to talk. I hate
than
this.
Jewish people in general. You know what I mean? You gotta
Yeah,
suck,
why give a reason to hate more?
you're gonna suck blood too. You're gonna be Jewish and you're gonna suck blood out of penises. How many things against you want going?
Like, you're giving Alex Jones every reason in the world to call you a psychic vampire,
Yeah.
whatever.
And so I got there. I got called him, and he told me exactly what I had, which is this giant cyst that tons. And this is exactly what he told me, and the doctor at the hospital told me.
Tons
that
of
it's,
Jews get it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
I
it's
was trying to
exactly
be,
what he said.
I was trying to be anti-Semitic.
It's exactly what he said. That it's very it's a very Semitic thing to get.
That's so weird,
It's
when
very-
there's like certain things that are like tied to, like Italians have a thing where their blood gets replaced with tomato sauce.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's like, what's your blood type? Marinara.
Marinara, fucking keep walking.
It's red sauce. What do you want? Do Italians call it red sauce?
I think that's a Jersey thing.
Yeah, it's such a weird.
No, gravy. Gravy is what they call it
brown sauce. Gravy. They call tomato sauce gravy.
in Jersey. Yeah, it's one of those Jerseyisms.
Jersey's a fucked up place. So he told me exactly what I had, and that, like I had to go get it. What's it called? I had to get it drained. Gotta drain that motherfucker. Now let me tell you something. I have never had a feeling because it was emergency drain. It wasn't like, oh, okay, maybe in a day or two I'll get it. It was like I can't move.
It was like busting a fire hydrant
middle
for
of
the summer heat in the New York 1970s
in
New
a
York
poor
City.
neighborhood. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The fireman had to come in with a fucking wrench.
Just doused in pus. So there's no other feeling like when you are face down, like ass up on a doctor's bed thing.
Face down, ass up. That's the way I like my ass drained.
And then you have to like let some doctor look into your asshole and have to drain this thing. And all I kept on saying the whole time was, I'm so sorry. You know? I am sorry. I want to let you know I am sorry that this is that I came in here and made this your day. You
That
know?
guy is basically like a plumber of the body. You know, it's just like $200,000 in student debt to just drain a guy's ass every day.
Dude, when you're an emergency room doctor, your day is really random. The most random things happen. You never know what you're about to walk into.
Oh, this was emergency?
Yeah, it
like
was
you didn't
emergency
like
room.
get referred to like some
No,
dude.
I had to go to emergency to get it
Oh,
done.
dude. Because
And
at least the guy whose like specialty is that
Yeah,
knows his day.
Exactly. He knows what is going to happen. He knows what's coming. But when you're in an emergency, you just walk into a room and you pick up your clipboard and you're like there's a door that's closed and someone's waiting in there. You know nothing about them. You pick up a clipboard that's right outside that door. You have 3 minutes to mentally prepare what you're about to deal with. And it says something like discharge green vaginal. And you're like, okay, I got to go in there now. And
Coming out of his what?
Yeah, exactly. So this guy has to come in here, and I remember the doctor, like, he was having way too much fun, and he's like, no, you don't understand. You don't know how nice it is when I can actually help somebody. I'm like, how many people have died on
What
this?
kind of
doctor?
hospital is this?
How many people have died on this doctor's watch that he's fucking super happy that he gets to help me today?
It's like it's nowhere near your neck. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
Anyways, it
Terry.
was-
That's
So he drained it, and then I thought it was all good. I thought it was like I'm done, but it turned out it would get problematic again. I would have to drain it again every 5 days. I'd be back in emergency, and then eventually the guy's like, "We're gonna have to remove it if you want to get rid of this problem because it's gonna just come back all the time."
yeah.
And he's like, "It's quite a large procedure. It could take up to 1 year recovery." And I'm like, 1 year recovery
For a hair that grew the wrong way.
It's so fucked. And I was like, this is crazy. And I said, and I'm like, but I've been there every 5 days. I have to run to emergency. I can't go to work. Like, it's so bad.
This how many years ago?
This is right before I started comedy. So
Okay.
like 5 years ago. And I'm like, fine, let's do it. Like, let's schedule surgery. And he goes, okay, great. We'll have you in for 4.5 months from now. And I'm like, 4 months? You telling me it's a year recovery in 4.5 months, and I have to be here every week to drain this thing up until there? Like,
You're just looking down the tunnel of life. You got 18 years, like serving a sentence for.
I just got broken. I was like, I just turned 30. I got laid off of a job. My girlfriend just broke up with me, and now I'm about to go through a year of ass recovery.
It's just you got like a Capri Sun stuck to the above your ass.
Exactly.
The doctor's trying to poke the straw in. He's like, I used to be good at this when I was a kid.
I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do? So I called my Jewish friend, and I was like, Mr. Rothschild, could you?
You know, you make fun of me for saying like I know people, but you keep dropping.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you got to know people. That's why
Okay.
I make fun of it because I'm familiar with it.
Right.
And so he's like, don't worry, I'll call my father in Montreal. He'll see what he can do for you. I get a call a few hours later that your appointment is tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
How fucked up is that?
That's pretty fucked up.
It feels dirty. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You feel like, okay, great, but whose grandmother is dying because I got her appointment? Who did they say? Edith, we're going to have to move you to October.
Edith, we're not gonna lie to you. Your hands are gross to look at, and we don't like them, so we're not gonna look at them for a little bit.
They're just like, hey, Susan, look at the appointment. Can you move a Gentile to later in the fucking month? So I got in there and they let me do it, and so that was like, this is the only surgery I've ever really had, and they gave me this choice right before I went under the knife. They were like,
Yeah.
there was like an what's
Innie
it
or
called?
outie?
It said, what's the person who gives you the
Anesthesia.
yeah,
Anesthesiologist.
Anesthesiologist. I love that movie, Anastasia. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Good
Fair
job.
enough. I love that. It's a good reference. So he was looking at me. He goes, okay, you have a choice. Either we can put you to sleep, or I'm like, so put me to sleep. And he's like, well, hold on. There's a second choice. I don't need to hear the second choice.
Like, you
If one choice is go to sleep, wake up, and it's done, that's the choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's like, no, we can also just give you an epidural. And I go, well, the twins are not due for another 3 months.
Hey, that's for broads.
Exactly. What am I, a woman?
That's a broad drug.
What am I, a trans
Okay, relax,
baby?
relax.
Don't make me out to be like that.
Just 1 second. Yesterday, a clip of Alex Jones showed up on my Twitter.
Yeah.
Where he says that Harvey Weinstein's got a vagina. He's a hermaphrodite.
Yeah.
He's got a brown pussy. That's what he said.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, either we can give you the woman treatment, or we can put you to sleep. And I obviously want to get put to sleep, but he's like, you could die if we put you to sleep. It's very dangerous.
They say that, but
He said you could die probably 50 times within the sentence of explaining to me which options I could have, to the point where I'm like, are you trying to tell me that you really don't want me to choose? Like, it's almost like he was just a lazy guy, and he's like, because if I do that, then I gotta
I gotta
stay.
be there.
Yeah, I gotta
the whole
stick
time.
around the whole time just in case something goes wrong. So he convinced me, and I was like, okay, give me the epidural. And but the thing is, they pump you full of Valium before they even put you in the room.
Okay.
And once you give me Valium, and I've smoked as much weed as I've ever smoked, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah.
So I remember going in.
I don't see how those two things are correlated, but sure.
What do you mean?
The weed and Valium.
Oh, it does for sure. If you're really high on pot and then you take Valium, you conk out. You
Okay.
just go to sleep. I find for me at least. And so he gives me. I remember them bringing me into the room, but the second they plopped me onto the
That's the official medical term too.
Plop, yeah.
Like, hey doctor, help me plop this guy.
Yo, plop this fatty over here. And then they put me down, and I fell asleep. And then I woke up,
Yeah.
and I'm in this recovery bed.
Okay, so the epidural was the same as being
To me,
anesthetized.
yeah, exactly.
Because you just okay, fine.
I was completely
Well,
sleeping.
just say that, you fucking idiot. Not you, him.
I know. Well, he could have told me that like the Valium would be enough to put you to sleep.
Yeah.
But maybe he didn't know me, and maybe he didn't know I was high on pot, or because I do think that's a big part of it. But maybe it's because it's straight to the veins Valium. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
So I wake up, and I'll never forget the feeling of just like you're slowly like trying to figure out where you are and what's going on. You're like, oh, I think it's over. I think it's done. And then slowly I'm trying to remember things, and then I'm touching my legs, and I feel nothing. Man. Dude, nothing. Like I'm like, oh my god! I couldn't believe I forgot about the epidural, and I literally in my head was like, I am now Christopher Reeves.
Nice.
Hook me up to the machine right now.
Yeah.
I'm Superman. Okay, I can't feel anything, and then all of a sudden, like the nurse sees me waking up, and she comes up to me and she reminds me, and I'm like, oh yes, of course. I'm like, so I can't feel anything. She's like, not for me, not for another hour or two at least. And I was like, okay. And then you start touching, and you're like, oh my god. And I started touching my ass, and it's fucked to touch your ass like it's someone
else's ass.
Okay, you're like
You just
touching.
smack it real good.
Dude, yeah, I'm like touching it. I'm like, holy shit! I was like,
I've
fuck.
got a nice ass.
I know. I actually couldn't believe how swollen it was from the surgery.
Oh, okay.
And I called the nurse over. And I was like, I couldn't believe what it felt like. And I was like, is it normal that it's this swollen? And she goes, it's not swollen at all. That's just your fat ass, you idiot. I couldn't believe that that's what my ass felt like. Like it was this big, meaty. It was just so big. It just
Gluteus Maximus, baby.
Couldn't believe it. And then I started touching, and then
I'm gonna name my firstborn son Gluteus Maximus.
And then I was calm. I was like, this is kind of cool. You know, this is like fun until you touch your dick and you can't. And then I couldn't.
It was half your palm.
I had to hold my penis. Like I had to hold it in my hand because it was comforting me.
Yeah.
But that's when I realized that. Because I always do, like even when I'm watching TV by myself, my dick's in my hand.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I'm just comfortable with it there. But I always thought it's because I like the feeling. My penis liked the feeling.
No, you just like holding a dick.
I just like holding a dick. Like it turns out, if I lost all my feeling here, I would ask you to come over once a week so I can hold your dick.
Oh wait, yeah. Well, that's Saturday, Sunday today.
Guys, hold your dick. Like just let me just hold it.
Dude, don't be gay. Just let me hold your dick for a second.
Yeah, stop making it weird, okay? I just wanna scratch your balls, okay?
Just for a sec, dude.
And that was the fucking craziest thing. And then like you eventually learn to walk or whatever, and that's weird. Like as you're getting your feeling back. But also the most fucked up thing is because they removed this cyst, right? From
Did you get to keep it?
Oh my god!
They put it in a bag, like
in a mason
like
jar,
baby teeth or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's like feed me, Seymour. It's like, but yeah. So like they removed this whole thing, and I never wanted to see the area, you know, that they like worked on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when I turn over, a new nurse comes in to patch me up before they send me home, and she literally looks at my thing and she goes, "I could put my fist in there." And I remember thinking like, well, don't. Please don't put your fist in there. Are you kidding me? Your fist. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Scary shit, man. Really scary. And like you're completely, you know, like last thing you want to hear when you're face down, ass up is I could put my fist in there, you know? It's
this podcast is going to get terrible. Like, no one's going to want to listen to this.
I ruined everyone's day.
I think so.
I'm sorry.
That's so gross, dude.
I apologize.
A fist-sized hole?
Scary.
Isn't that a 9 Inch Nail song? No.
Well, that's what they told me. They had to remove it because it was full of dirt and debris. And I was like, I didn't know my ass was the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
I guess Beirut.
Someone put up a wall in here.
Yeah.
Beirut. Yeah, shout out to Beirut.
Shout out to Beirut. Donate.
Red Cross. I don't know. Apparently not the government.
Well, that's good news. I'll tell you one thing. When you're like, wait, from my culture, if I wake up in the morning and see Beirut destroyed, the second I see it's not Israel, I'm like, phew.
That must have been I remember like initially when like people were like, we heard jets and it was the Israelis. I was like, well, that's not good.
Yeah, I was nervous as fuck at first because it felt my whole childhood, it just felt like every time Beirut rebuilt, we just destroyed it again. And it was like really embarrassing. It just like anytime I met anyone from Lebanon, I was literally embarrassed. I didn't know how to talk to them because it just feels dirty. There's something about it. I don't have opinion on like politically. I just know when I look at someone who's from Lebanon,
you're like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, there's just a feeling where you're like, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know anything about the history of that, so I can't comment on it.
Yeah.
I just know that it's I don't know. Fuck, it sucks. I got nothing.
Thanks for your piece, Jason.
Yeah,
Really appreciate it.
The political hour with Jason Sellen. What's next? The mask protest.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, like you see, like people drove from like 45 minutes away, an hour away, to go to Montreal yesterday, to go downtown and protest masks.
Dude, if you have a problem with wearing a mask, it's because your breath stucks. And that's
your breath. Sorry, what?
Your breath stucks.
Okay.
I meant to say stucks, you asshole. I don't know. It's really crazy that people are that angry. But I get it.
I kind of get it too because you know what? Like the problem's mostly in the city. So if you live an hour away from the city and you're like you want to just go to Tim Hortons
to the city,
yeah, where all the problem is. No, but I get it. Like over there, they have like 0 cases where as far as the eye can see, and they go to Tim Hortons, they got to wear a mask and they can't hang out on Thursdays after they get their paycheck and just hang out in Tim Hortons for 8 hours.
That's all they do.
That's dude. Like Tim Hortons outside of Montreal, it's like it's the community center.
Oh god, it's so sad.
It's just they stay there. Like I have one even near my parents. There's one where they hang out in the parking lot, just mobility scooters, just like it's like they're showing off like
doing wheelies. There's hydraulics on them.
Exactly. Like they're doing a little car show at the Orange Julep
I don't understand. Like what at Tim like it's so sad. They can't even have.
because it's open like all day. I
And it's
guess.
the only place.
Yeah.
And like everyone knows someone who works there.
I don't know if they get discounts, maybe something like that. You know, like we made this order wrong.
Let me tell you a unique opinion. Tim Hortons is diarrhea coffee. Okay, the coffee there is just dirt ran through a filter. It tastes like nothing. All the food is garbage. If you've ever waited in line,
We're doing good today.
if you've ever waited in line for a Tim Hortons anything,
Yeah,
reevaluate your life.
I miss the bread bowls. I miss a soup where I could eat what's
Disgusting.
holding the soup.
That is the most vile.
A bread bowl is gross.
It's disgusting.
What do you mean?
I think anyone who's really into soggy bread is probably a sociopath.
Dude, that's like half of Italian culture is just dipping your bread in shit after.
Oh, dipping the bread is fine, but
Okay,
the
and then it
soggy
becomes
part-
soggy. What do you
that's
think?
Like, that's like being the best part of the cereal is when you let it sit for 4 hours and then you eat it and it disintegrates on your tongue and you don't even have to chew.
No,
so
it's not the
gross.
same at all.
People put croutons in soup and like wait for them to get soggy.
Yeah, it
that's
sucks.
gross to me, man.
Yeah, it's true, eh? Like, yeah, when you put a cracker in a soup and it becomes soggy, it's immediately like someone sneezed on it.
Dude, there's something about it. There used to have this there's like this in restaurants. You have this giant bucket with the soap water in it, and you dump all the cutlery in there when you're done with your
Right.
stuff, like when you're a busboy. And sometimes like food will fall into it. I remember like one time, like sometimes a baguette would just fall in, and no one would clean it up, and it would just start absorbing the water all night before it like takes over the entire kitchen. It's
Yeah,
like
it's just like
pushing
the glob or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, it's pushing out the windows. it's like
Feed me.
it's fucking nasty. I something about wet bread really just gives me the fucking jimmies.
The heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebies.
I met heebie-jeebie once.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll fuck with a bread bowl, dude. Give me a bread bowl right now.
I don't like that. And anything, there's really nothing at Tim Hortons besides maybe a donut, but who gives a fuck? They're all like what I want, like a Boston cream. I get a Boston cream anywhere. I heard McDonald's does donuts now.
Do they?
Yeah, they're pushing Tim Hortons out of the game.
Yeah.
What's the point of going to Tim Hortons if there's a McDonald's everywhere there's a Tim Hortons?
Because the
man.
lines at McDonald's. and
I'm
you go to
anti
Hortons.
Tim Hortons.
Okay, fine, dude. You know what I was thinking about? I know this is gonna go nowhere, but you look at a company like Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got a CEO who's like some nerd who got his MBA after getting like an accounting degree or whatever,
Sure.
or whatever they are,
Yeah.
and they get to choose if they want the new flavors. When you've got some guy just gaming Call of Duty who's probably way more qualified to tell you what the people want in terms of flavors. You know what I mean?
So you just have some CEO, you're saying?
I'm saying, like, how are they the most qualified people to
Well, you're
to steer the direction of the company taste-wise when they're probably not drinking that much Coca-Cola products? They're probably a healthy person who drinks, like, sparkling water.
right.
And they're not touching, Mountain Dew Code Red or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they're not the ones coming up with the flavors.
Yeah,
They're
it
the
is,
ones-
dude. It's
they're
one
the-
person. It's one person.
He's like, no, regular. We're sticking to regular. There's not like there's this whole team coming up. That's what I love. I love that there's actually a team and they're coming up with 10,000 flavors a year that we're never tasting. That like everyone's like, this is insane. Disgusting.
They all go to Europe or
Yeah,
whatever.
except for 1 year, and they call it Fanta, and they just like put it in a different bottle.
Dude, last year in Scotland in Edinburgh, I tasted a Dr. Pepper root beer float or something, and it was the most amazing.
No, it wasn't.
Dude, it was like a cherry something. It was amazing, and
How is that still a drink, and how have they not
Dr.
changed
Pepper
it?
rules.
But who thought? Let's call it Dr. Pepper. That's
It
the
makes me
worst
feel
name.
better.
First of all, is there even pepper in the drink?
Probably.
Okay.
Tastes peppery.
How many? They always talk about how many ingredients. That's their whole
23,
thing.
bitch. I'm pro Dr. Pepper.
And one of it's a doctor. I think it's a dumb. I don't know. It tastes weird to me. It's a weird flavor.
So
it's like
I'm-
root beer that's been sitting out too long.
I
don't know
kind of
what
want
it
to like put it out to like the Montreal comedians community page on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because one time I was in the green room at the Comedy Nest and I said something about liking Dr. Pepper, and someone said, if I told you what I think it tastes like, it would, because I used to like it, it would ruin it for you. And I don't remember who said that. And like every time I have a Dr. Pepper, like once a month or whatever, I think back. Was it you?
No.
Oh.
What does it taste like?
I don't know. Someone's
Oh,
like, if I told
I
you
told you-
what it tastes like,
That
it would
fucks with
ruin
you.
it. And now, because like they said, like I used to drink it, now I don't. Because one day I just realized it tastes like blank.
Who is this person?
I
that you
don't know, and
believed
now
they're genius. Like they said something prophetic like that. You were like,
it fucks with me to this
it
day.
must be true. I hope it's not some dumb idiot person who, for some reason.
It was someone I believed. It was someone I respected.
It tastes like probably toothpaste.
No,
I find that's what root beer kind of tastes like.
I hate root beer.
Yeah, root beer's
Can't do
got a
it.
toothpaste.
I know I just said I like the Dr. Pepper root beer float or whatever, but that was very different. Okay,
Yeah.
where are you going?
It's open.
Windows open.
Yeah.
It's a rainy day in Montreal.
Yeah. I don't know. What else is going on?
Nothing, dude.
Nothing
Literally nothing.
Did you, like, that's what's so fucked is that like you just want to be able to tell a quick story about, but
we
nothing
haven't
happens
done
during the
anything.
week. I did have a nice Israeli man come and deliver this couch when we got it.
Yeah.
I like that moment when like he knows my name is Hebrew, so he like does like a shalom, and you're like, oh, we got to do this acknowledge. And so I say like two or three things that are like, I guess you can understand with French. Like maybe you don't speak French well, but you know the slang and like you can say one thing in an accent and it sounds like you know what you're talking about. So I did two of those. And then what happened, which is really funny, is that then he's like done. It was really quick. Put the couch down. I speak a little Hebrew, haha, more friendly. And then he's leaving, and instantly I'm like, I gotta give this guy $20.
Is that what you tip a couch guy?
A Jewish couch guy.
A Jewish couch guy?
I mean, I was an Israeli couch guy who
Right.
like knew me as an Israeli. I just felt like I had to represent, and I gave him $20, and I really felt kind of
And then as he left, he's like, fuck Beirut, and then just wait till next week.
yeah. This is going to contributing to the plan.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to ask you, because like I was thinking back of like high school. You went to all Jewish high school.
So many Jews.
Did you have like the same type of nerds as we did, like the mall ninja nerd who would like hang out at like Hot Topic and like get all their like weapons that they had, like just the blades with zero cut on, like no edge on them, and
Yeah.
like and the same hoodie guy every day. You know, he came from money, but he had the same hoodie. Like there was this kid whose dad was like a high profile lawyer where I went to school.
Yeah.
And like they had like 3 Suburbans or whatever, you know, like a Denali, a Suburban, and like a Escalade.
Yeah.
And this kid came to school in the same fucking sweatshirt every day.
He had no uniforms?
Not in the second half of my high school career.
Okay. They introduced uniforms in our final year, I think. Or our
My
second
first
to
year,
last.
grade 7, we had forest green blazers.
Oh my
we looked like a
God.
bunch of fucking idiots.
They look like Dead Poet Society. That's what it sounds like.
I don't know.
That vibe. They brought them in only later, and I'm such a loser in high school. I hate myself so much. I always say like hell to me. Like if when I die and go to hell, it's just gonna be me hanging out with myself in grade 9, 10, and 11, just watching myself lie to people and pretend to be cool
Yeah.
and say anything I need for attention.
So you were the Jewish nerd at your high school.
I was different than a nerd. I just made no sense to anybody.
Okay.
This is
like you put on a condom before going to school in the morning.
Yeah, I was just the pothead, weird, depressed dude who who was way too loud about shit.
Right.
One thing that really taught me a lot about what people thought about me in high school, because I think when I was there, I kind of thought people thought I was cool, maybe.
Right.
But then when I graduated, there was a yearbook.
Mm-hmm.
And in these yearbooks, especially in the graduating year, everyone gets kind of like a gag award.
Right.
Most likely to succeed.
Yeah. What are they called? Those awards are called. There's the word superfluous. No. Yeah. No. I forget. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like
My brain's
whatever.
dying.
Most likely to die of ball cancer. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like they give all those different. Most likely to have anal. So
What was yours? Most likable?
no. First of all, the only thing I would really thought maybe we actually voted for these. Like there was a day when like the ballots came to all our classes and there was options for everybody. And the only thing I was on was class clown. I was an option for class clown.
Right.
But I knew for a fact that I didn't get class clown. But then when we only got these yearbooks when school was over, and I remember opening it, and when I got into the section for the awards, I won an award, but it was none of the listed awards.
Yeah. So it's just one person at the yearbook committee that was like, "Fuck this guy."
It was most ridiculous. And there was just a picture of me being like looking like an idiot.
Yeah.
And it just said most ridiculous. And I think for a good 3 years, I tried to convince myself that it was ridiculous, like ridiculous.
Like, and one night, just sitting in a dark room by yourself, you're like, "Oh God."
I had that anxiety panic attack of my actual life because that's who I really am. I'm the most ridiculous,
Not
sad
likable.
person. Yeah, and so I did two things that was really annoying in the grade 11 when we finally brought uniforms. The main thing I did was like my sister's boyfriend at the time, his father owned a schmutta business.
Sister's boyfriend's father.
Yeah, owned a schmutta business, which means
Please translate.
means he does the clothing, okay, and he makes clothing, and he
What is
has
this clothing?
this is where the money comes from.
To people who are listening,
all,
Oren's rubbing his fingers together like he's counting money. He's like, "Yeah, the clothing."
Well, you don't test clothing to make sure it's
Okay,
comfortable
yeah,
before
sure.
you put it
That's-
on.
You're okay.
It's
you're touching
hanging
the
and
fabric.
you're checking the text
Right.
of the fabric.
You're like my mom. Just got a hand gesture for everything.
But they gave me he gave me a box of ties that had like about 150 ties.
Okay.
But they were all the reject ties, you know, like
He
ridiculous
was hoping
patterns.
you kill yourself with them. Or maybe like when they finally put you in the insane asylum, you like escape by tying them all in a knot, you know? Like
Oren,
from the
let
bedpost.
me show you a new way to tie a tie. It might look like a like a
Kind of
noose.
noosey. It's called the noose. You got your I forgot the types of tie knots.
So I wore a different tie every day of high school. That was who I was. Like I had a different weird tie because like they didn't say we weren't allowed. Like we had to wear a uniform, but there was no specific about which tie we had to wear. So I thought I can get away with
You
wearing.
can stand out with a tie.
Exactly. So I would wear.
Is that what your dad would say when you like tie it for him? Oren, you can always stand out with a tie.
No, my dad would say, "I'm ashamed of you."
I'm moving back to
I'm
Israel
moving
as
back
soon
to
as you're
Israel.
fucking independent.
I want nothing to do with you. And another thing, so I was an annoying kid in high school with the uniform. Yeah, so we did have the Jewish nerds, but they were all like, it was different. Like there was the two guys who were into, they weren't nerds. Everyone kind of liked them, but they were weirdos and they were into death metal and stuff like that.
Two? That's it?
Two of them, just two
Wow.
guys. And they both had like long hair, and people made awful jokes about Trenchcoat Mafia and stuff like that
Right.
because they were gothic or whatever.
What's Trenchcoat Mafia again? Is that the Columbine guys?
Columbine.
Okay.
Yeah. But they were the coolest guys ever. Like one of the guys was so smart. Back then, you know the Texas Instrument calculators that the smart people had?
Oh, he had like a snake on there or whatever?
No, he programmed an RPG himself
Oh.
into the goddamn calculator that we could play, and it was like go down the hallway and you'd meet one of the teachers and you'd get something from the teacher to go make a thing that's somewhere else. Like it was this whole
Right.
game of collecting objects and talking to
That's
people.
cool.
And then I think he works for Twitter or something now, but and they were both really cool, smart guys. But then they were like the two socially awkward nerds that
Right.
were so
Just
weird.
smelled bad and
Yeah, and always dirty, and like would always be picking their nose, but like also enjoy the weird attention they got about it.
right.
And one of them had crazy anger management problems that people loved to tease.
To push his fucking buttons.
Because he was like this soft, big, huge, chubby, but like big dude. But he was like talked like very soft. Excuse me, could I please, if it's possible to just, if you could, maybe it would be very nice if you could. And then you'd be like, Peter, you suck. And he'd be like, get out of here! And he'd just throw a desk through a window out of nowhere.
Holy fuck.
But he was always
this kid
the victim.
rules.
He
Give
was
him on the
always-
podcast.
He always like was huge with this with a black backpack that was so tight on his body that it almost looked like it was.
Gotta be close. It's gotta be close.
It was almost like it looked like part of his skin.
Yeah.
You know, it was like white T-shirts with his little belly popping a little bit at the bottom.
Oh god, I think I've met this kid.
I remember because like after high school, I really didn't see a lot of people from high school for years, which is weird because in this city you think you bump into them all the time.
Yeah,
It's small. It's not like a college. It's not like you go off to college and
No, you
never
just
see
stay
these-
here.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Canada compared to the States. Is that everyone like it's such a big thing. Graduation in the States because like your kids are gonna fuck off for 4 years
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah.
They're going to the state that's the furthest away from you.
Yeah.
And here it's like, okay, well, now that you graduated high school, get ready for an hour bus ride to go to class.
It's exact same life. Nothing's changing.
Nothing's
Yeah.
changed, and I can't even imagine like Sejep and all that shit. I never did it, so I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so I remember always like thinking like I bet you that guy's killing it now. You know, like I bet you like high
Yeah.
school is a struggle.
Yeah.
And like I bet you now he's figured it all out as a beautiful like woman. And then like one day I'm on the metro and I just see the psycho, exactly the same human being, but just a bit bigger. Like someone took a picture of him in high school and then just
He
maximized
just, like, evolved,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just cropped it, like they expanded on like Photoshop
exactly.
or whatever.
And and the pixels are worse for some reason. And he just looked like that and like still picking his nose on the fucking on the metro, and I was like, wow. Some people just never fucking like. There's just some. There was also these two girls who were like sisters, and they also just some of the weirdest people. Nice people, but just grew up in a different social structure. They were friends with tons of handicapped people.
Okay.
Like that was their entire social lives. Like they didn't talk to anyone at school, but they had lots of friends in like outside.
Okay.
That they would hang out. And they were all handicapped, and like you can imagine how high school boys are.
Oh yeah, that must have been a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
But they must have been like angels. Jesus.
Yeah, they're probably that's why beautiful, amazing people
Yeah.
that like I haven't thought of them for years. The last time I thought of them was in high school, and I was mean in my head, and now I'm thinking about them in a whole new light. Just like talking about them now, like remember those two angels that everyone hated back in
Fuck, I don't like. I just blocked out high school. I think. I know I was just shy and quiet, so I didn't really. There was not much there. I remember just like one nerd in elementary school.
Yeah.
Who would get massive nosebleeds from picking his nose, and he would do it every day.
Yeah, there's
every
always
day,
something like that.
And he would also flip out. He had a huge anger management issue because he smelled. Honestly, this kid smelled like metal from how much he bled. He smelled like a penny. It was insane.
He was just always bleeding.
Yeah, his nose was always bleeding.
That's fucked. There's always the kids like that, and they're like, it's the humidity, and you're like, no,
No, dude,
We're all
your
doing
face
it.
is broken.
It's so fucked. Yeah, no, high school was weird for me, especially at the end, because at the end, when I went through my little depression thing, when I went to talk to a therapist about it, they blamed it all on the pot. They're like, oh, he smokes a lot of pot. It's all the pot.
Right.
He's depressed because of pot, and they put me in marijuana rehab.
That's the funniest fucking thing.
Oh, dude. But it wasn't marijuana rehab. The thing is, it was just rehab.
And you were there for weed.
And I was there for pot, and there was a bunch of people there for like meth, and like, and that's where I tried meth. You know what I mean? They just introduced me to people who
Did you
introduced
really try
me to
meth?
harder drugs. No, but I did do mesc with one of the kids. There.
Mescaline?
Mescaline. With
Is
one
that
of
the thing they give you to? No, that's is that the thing they give you like when you're coming off of drugs and shit? No.
No. It was.
What's the clinic? What's the methadone?
Oh, methadone. Yeah. So they gave me. I did mesc and coke and speed with
At what age?
with two guys. Like 7. No, what am I talking about? Like high school. So grade
10.
11. Grade 10.
like 15.
Yeah, and I would have never tried those things if they didn't introduce me to those idiots. And my parents, the poor things, they had to go also. Like I would go after school, like it was twice a week. I'd have to go after school for like 5 hours to this therapy session with all these other crazy people. And then my parents for 2 hours would go with all the other parents to like a therapy too.
Yeah.
And they realized that their kid was normal. They're like, holy shit! That like this parent's talking about how my kid stabbed me the other day and and like stole my kidney and sold it on the black market so he can get some more mesc, you know, like, it's like, and my brother, like, oh, my boy was sad and wrote a poem about being sad while he was high on marijuana, and they're like, I suck dick for coke. It's like, it's so fucked.
So what's mescaline do?
Mescaline, I don't really
I feel
remember.
like it's a is that like
first
is
of
that a
all,
Mexican drug?
This is how dumb I was.
Do they have it with tequila or some shit?
Yeah, exactly. You have to eat the maggot after you're done.
I don't know. I feel like
No, mescaline is I
what am
don't know.
Thinking of it doesn't matter. I'm stupid
Maybe I'm
today.
no. I'm thinking about lettuce.
You're what?
There's a lettuce called mescaline or something like that. No, maybe I'm calling it right. Maybe I'm saying the wrong thing. I'm like arugula. I did arugula.
Yeah, I did arugula back in the day. Some people call it rockets.
No, I think it's mescaline. Anyways, it was a white powder that we used to just get from like this guy, and then he encouraged me to just go to Barry and ask for drugs.
Shit.
One time, I actually literally was like, I did this white powder, and it was called mescaline to me, and it wasn't coke, so I was afraid of coke for some reason, but this other stuff was fine.
Right.
And one day I was like hitting on this girl at Dawson. And we were just becoming friends, and I was like, "Hey, want to go do something crazy today? Let's go to like Barry and get some mesc or something." Okay, that's what I said.
Right.
We went to Barry, asked some random dude, just, "Hey, do you have some mesc?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, $20 a pop." I'm like, "Cool." And he's put it in my hand, gave him the money, walked away. I was like, "Got the mescaline." And she's like, "Cool." And we like, "Let's go." And we walked, and I looked, and I had 2 tabs in my hand. Okay. 2 tabs, and then we just took the tabs. Like, this is gonna be fun mescaline, even though in my head I knew
It's not the
that
format.
it was supposed to be powder, but
Yeah.
I guess we're doing tabs. And then we went to the planetarium and had the best day of my fucking life.
Just acid?
Of laughing, and it was acid for sure. We did acid, and
Yeah.
it changed both of us. Like, my friend at the time changed after that.
Really?
Like, she was a different person the day after we did acid for the rest
What
of
way?
her life. I think I don't know. It's hard to
Okay,
explain,
yeah,
and sometimes I feel like I'm cornering it too hard. But like I think she became a little chiller, but also built up a little bit of anxiety inside of her.
Oh yeah, because it could have been not acid. It could have been like another chemical derivative.
It definitely it could have been anything, and there's no way
You're a
for me to
fucking
know
idiot,
what it
eh?
was. Dude, I was so willing to just fucking gargle anything.
That's insane.
Well,
I'm
just
so
fuck
scared
me
of
up,
everything.
I'll do it. And it was all of it. Most of it started because of that that marijuana rehab. And the thing was
The
like
weed rehab.
I was such a loud idiot that everyone knew I was in this thing, you know.
Right.
And back in high school, they used to test my piss every week, make sure I wasn't on pot. But
Man,
the
I was
thing
such a good boy.
I refused to stop smoking pot. So what I did was I had one of my nerd friends who was a good boy. I would take his
Hey,
piss.
bro,
once
can
a
I
week.
get your piss real quick?
Every once a week in school, he would piss for me in a bottle, okay?
Yeah.
And I would take that bottle and keep it in my locker. And then right
So
before
you had a piss locker?
I had a piss locker, and then right before I would go to get tested, I would take the piss bottle and
Yeah.
warm it up in the school microwave.
Yeah, you would. Oh fuck.
Because it had to be warm when I got
yeah,
there.
of course.
So I would warm it up in the school microwave and then go.
Imagine you like overheat it. It's just you got boiling piss and like you put it in the like you fake
So
piss
one
it.
time,
and it's just-
no, okay, not that, but one time I did leave it in the microwave too long. It melted the bottle it was in. It was one of those Nestle like plastic bottles,
Yeah.
and the piss went all over the school microwave.
and you didn't clean it
I
up.
didn't clean it up, and it was not like it was. And you know what?
I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations on that crime is not up yet, dude. You're gonna get arrested for poisoning.
Yeah, because I literally left, and I came back later, and it's not like the microwave was closed. It was still being used. At lunch, someone was making popcorn.
Jesus Christ. This was Bialik High School in the year 2000.
2000 or 2001, yeah, 2000. And then and then and then one I remember that time, actually specific time, I had to go and pee for myself, and I was like, I'm gonna get in such shit, I'm grounded for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know. And then I remember that week going into the therapy session, and they're like, hey, we have all the results here, Oren, congratulations, another week clean. And I was like, I guess this always doesn't work. You know, like maybe
I guess, dude. I don't know.
I was just floored because like I got away with it, and I was still high every day. My parents were like, Oren, we just want to say the improvement we've seen over you over the past 3 weeks since you've quit marijuana. You're a different person. And I'm like, okay, good to know.
So here's the thing: is that like you're fine. Like your life has turned out okay, right? You're like you're not
Sure.
homeless. Like you're fine. You're like you have a
Sure.
good job. You have
Yeah.
a nice lady. All
Got a
right,
nice best friend.
Nice best friend.
Yeah.
Well, we're working
Tight
on
ass.
that apparently.
Got a tight
You got
ass.
a tight ass.
Yeah.
Well, according to you, no. According to your own objective,
Yeah.
where you touched your own ass as a different man.
Got a spicy.
So and you're fine, and you still ruin your parents' lives for like 10 years.
Oh, I destroyed them. Yeah.
Like, what's the point of having a kid if that's what you have to look forward to? Is a little version of you.
And now I just forget to
making-
call them every.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, yeah. I think it is really tough. I don't know.
What are
what
the
it is.
benefits?
There's not many.
I think there's like maybe 3 years where they're okay total, and then they're out of your house.
There's not many, and I think you often wait to get serious for a second. Once you start getting older and like realize taking responsibility for yourself and your future, you just feel like all you want to do is like somehow apologize or make up for it, or you just feel awful about it. You just can't believe. You just that moment when you realize that your parent was just another human struggling the whole time.
Yeah, dude.
Is like when you're like, oh my god, like I don't know what fucking righteousness I thought of myself. Like it's crazy.
Teenagers suck. Why would you want to make one?
I think because when you're 60, 70, you need something to do.
Right. You're just gonna go to the movies, man.
No,
Like,
you're not. You're gonna be 75 and you're gonna be so miserable. Like
I'm gonna have a plant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a tomato plant. Be like, it's looking pretty good today. It's taller than yesterday.
He's not bad. Eh? Looks good. These are heirlooms. I'm pretty sure these are heirlooms. I consider them heirlooms. I'd have like.
If only I had a child to give them to, then they would truly be heirlooms, huh?
Well done, sir. I like that.
Okay, I thought you were gonna laugh. I thought
No.
we had a clip for the because I realized this one was not as funny.
Yeah, not as funny because we're not prepared today.
We're not prepared today. Nothing
and
happened
because
this
we
week.
just hung out.
We just hung out.
Doesn't help a little bit, and also because nothing happened this week. And but we have a whole life to mine from, my friend.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not good at that. Like that's something you're good at. It's not
And
something
you
I'm
should
good
have cut me off on my fucking awful, gross, making everyone puke while they're eating their
That wasn't
cereal
bad,
about my
actually.
pus. If you thought it was so good,
I
you
don't
should be like,
know.
Oren, stop making everybody nauseous.
at. So
That story wasn't even over. There's like another 25 minutes about the machine they put me on and everything.
oh yeah, can you briefly describe that?
Oh my God. Anyways, it was supposed to take years to heal, but they're like, we have this machine that we're kind of testing out. That is like,
And you were like, I will test the ass machine.
yeah, because I want you to remember this whole idea is that there is like when she said she could put her fist in it, whatever. The point is that they had to remove all that area. It's not like there was like a zipper. They took it from the inside and they can close the top off. It's just a gaping. It's just a crater of missing. It's just the Grand Canyon of like on my back.
Yeah, it's what
right?
what killed the dinosaurs on your back.
Yeah. So they had to stuff it with like styrofoam and then attach a hose to it that went into a machine that just constantly pumped it and kept it dry. And then this machine was attached to a satchel that I had to carry around. So my whole life was me walking around with a purse
Of your own juice.
of my own juice that was pumping out from a tube from the top of my butthole from my ass crack to the purse. And I would literally have to walk down the street and like meet people and they'd be like, hey, how's it going? And this machine would be going and you'd see this red yellowy stuff just suctioning through. How come the tube is see-through? Why did it have to be see-through? Why couldn't you put a color on the tube? Why
You could have taped over it, to
Yeah.
be fair. You
Why
could have
couldn't
gotten some electrical tape, put a couple
Could you
different
tint-
colors on there.
I look like a Ghostbuster, like taking in the ectoplasm.
And an ass juice buster.
And I would just like literally have to talk to people. And what's crazy is I actually hooked up with two women while I had that bag on.
Yeah, but they also had like juice coming out of their ass.
They had
They
their own
just couldn't. You couldn't see it.
yeah, no, I did. I made love to I don't know about made
I don't know if
love.
you made love. You made dirty,
We
baby.
coited. We
You,
coited with that thing on, and sometimes I would forget that it was attached, and I had to leave the satchel on the side, and then I would get up and walk, and it would fucking
fling you back like you're a cartoon old western.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're going yank back into the brawl in the dusty saloon.
Dude, that feeling. One time I did get up so hard that it yanked it out of
Oh,
my back.
fuck.
And it was like 3 a.m. I had to call emergency nurse services. I didn't even know that was a thing, but there's like emergency
Like 811
nurses.
or whatever?
Yeah. And so they send this nurse to my house, and she's beautiful and young, and she's got a gold stethoscope for some reason. She like looks like it seems like a joke. Like I thought I was being pranked.
Here's your gold stethoscope for being the hottest
Yeah.
nurse.
Here's your gold stethoscope and your high heels. Go be sexy and fix some lives.
Hello, nurse. That's about her. That whole hello, nurse.
Hello.
That's her.
That's a good John Mulaney.
And was it? I was going for Wacko from Animaniacs.
Well, because that's who he's doing in that movie he's in. That's such a good point, dude.
I haven't seen the Spider-Verse.
Wow, you just made lightning strike my brain. That the reason it sounded familiar is because he is doing the Animaniacs character. That's pretty much who he's doing
Okay.
in the Spider-Verse movie.
I haven't seen it, so.
Anyways, this beautiful nurse shows up at my house. My house is disgusting. I'm a guy living by myself. I've been recuperating from surgery for 3 months. I'm living in filth. Okay.
Yeah, I
and
bet
this
you are.
gorgeous woman comes into my place, and I have to get my face down, ass up for her so she can replug the hole in my back. Like a fucking
Like you're in the Matrix, except that you're not living in an alternate
It
reality.
literally is. It's fucking like the Matrix. And I the whole time I just remember being I'm sorry. I'm so
If you take the blue
Sorry.
pill, everything will go back to normal. You will have one asshole.
it's Morphe ass.
If you take the red pill,
Yeah. So I walked around with that machine forever, and it was quite a sobering moment in my life to realize where I was. It's just so fucked, you know.
yeah. So I have had surgery, and it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, you got 3 tiny little
Yeah.
Jason penis-sized holes, and then they.
Hey, enough of that.
That's a funny joke. Hey, stop talking about my
Hey,
dick.
stop-
They're going to believe you soon.
We should call this the Big Dick Hour podcast.
Shit, there's no way
Hour.
we have a title, eh?
I think most ridiculous award.
That's good, actually.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
That's good. How much time are we at?
We've done a lot.
Oh yeah, is this tell us?
Yeah.
We're over an hour.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything before we go?
I have nothing, man. I thought that CEO of like Coca-Cola choosing the flavors would go somewhere. I didn't have one locked and loaded this week. You know, I really didn't.
I liked vanilla Coke.
I like vanilla Coke too, man.
I was a fan. They got it, but it's the thing they got to do. They got to take it away and bring it back, like the Disney Vault. The Disney Vault, you got to put things in the vault and then take them out of the vault and make you feel special for taking them out of the vault. You know what I mean?
Sure.
This is what I get. This is you thought that
I was thinking of
you
other
thought
shit.
that story was gonna go somewhere when this is what you're giving me right now.
It's a rough day. Okay, I'm not gonna drink ever again.
Yeah, it's tough. Okay, well, I want to say thank you again. Keep on listening. Keep on sharing. Let everybody know.
Shout out to it's creepy that I can like see individually who's downloaded the pod. Like I don't see who you are, but I can see like where you're from.
No, it goes into your laptop and shows us your cam.
Yeah, your camera gets hacked.
Yeah.
But we have one guy
You're
who
also
last night at 11 p.m., I guess 4 a.m. England time from West Bromwich, England or some shit, Central England, downloaded every episode of the podcast.
Well, I'm gonna find out I have a coworker from England, so I'm thinking.
Oh yeah,
there's a good chance that I'm about to get
fired.
Yeah, I'm get canceled.
Nice
cancel culture.
Especially after today's episode.
You said Jew so many times.
But I am Jewish.
Why? Why especially after this episode? What did I do?
I don't know. Listen back to it.
He's being so snarky. I'm gonna have to mute and bleep out the whole thing. All right, thanks guys for listening. Jason, I love you.
I love you too, buddy.
All right, see you later.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Friendship, friendship, friendship.